I was just thinking back. I remember waking one day with this painstaking emptiness and this heaviness, and I was trying to figure out why I feel penniless inside. Now, despite me having plenty, I remember feeling completely empty. But then I summoned to mind a Sunday school teaching and this man preaching about being saved by God's grace, and nothing that I had chased was able to displace me from his face. So in seconds, I had to battle in my mind, trying to decide if I might be denied because of my backslide. But then I remembered that Jesus died, regardless of the charges for my sin, and I started to cry. Because I remembered my pride, and I had tried to cross that great divide without seeing eye to eye and accepting his free gift that ratified me at the cross. So when the scales fell off and I could finally see past the braille, I saw my tormented and dented old self, and I repented. And when I did, he declared me impeccable, and that moment was unforgettable. Now, I don't mean to say that I have arrived, but that instead I have been revived by the power of Jesus, and he has taken my diseases of my old life and the strife that was between us. And so when I get down and I get discouraged, I remember that I probably have been malnourished, that other priorities have crept in undetected, and I have slowly become disconnected from the source. I start to see how I have erected other gods before him, and I have completely neglected my time being interconnected with him. It's no secret, and it's no surprise. It's because I've prized other things above him and have prioritized and idolized and have little by little become desensitized. I've held on to my medals and levels from yesterday and have started to go astray. And so my plead and my immediate need is far above Maslow's triangle of needs. And I have found the primitive food pyramid to be incompatible. So what I really need is more than the bread, more than the seed. I just want his feed. And I've agreed it doesn't even have to be gluten-free, but instead it's his daily bread that truly satisfies me. So you see, I need his nutrition. And he grants me admission and has already paid my tuition, and I am now the newest addition to his family. And through the transition, he makes me into a brand new edition of who I was before him. And he's given me supernatural permission into his throne room. And so you see, the craziness is that I get to see the radiance of his glory when I pray. And I can come before him, whether I'm on the jetway, in the alleyway, while I'm playing croquet. And it doesn't even have to be the Lord's Day. Because when I enter that doorway, he meets me more than halfway. But I know that the attack comes hardest when I make progress, and that I have become a target to become a carcass. But nevertheless, he rolls out the red carpet, and I am guarded in the midst of the darkness. And so this is why I get out of bed, and this is why I lift my head, and the very reason I need that daily bread. Just like the devil trying to show me I've been misled, just like in the Garden of Eden, he tried to make them commit treason and not believe in the freedom he had already presented them. So for those of you thinking that, that my life is breezy and that things come easy, and that I always stand strong as the enemy comes along, you've got it wrong. I'm not Lancer Neil Armstrong, and even though I'm grown and at times I'm in the middle of a war zone, I'm reminded that I must dethrone those idols around me and whale them in the cheekbone. And it might shock you to realize that I also have to see life through his eyes, and that I have to stop that same morning clock, and sometimes I sleepwalk while I unlock my eyelids. Because you see, there is no secret to the combination lock, but that you just have to get up, walk, and then knock, and he will answer. Because I have to fight the same enemy, and the only remedy that I know is to run to his embassy out of dire necessity. So I resolve to no longer be lazy, but instead I will run hard past that haziness despite it being right at my fingertips. Now I will remember that I'm a temporary guest in this place and will need to continue to press past that stress that at times sits right on my chest, just like when you get stuck on a bench press. So he has given me this newfound drive, and he is taking away the pride of caring about the people staring, because now esteem is lost and his souls that need to encounter the cross. And so now I've got a heavenly passion, and it's one that drives me faster than that Bugatti or that Lambo, because the debt that I have is no longer in escrow. So I refuse to be like the status quo that lets their bodies grow, but lets their spiritual self stay as an embryo, just sitting around in their chateau drinking their espresso, not seeing the battle around them though. Because I know I will be held accountable for what I know to do and what I did with it. So he's causing me to run like a madman, not because I'm mad, but because I'm a man that has found this new addiction. And you might sense some conviction because of the diction written. And even though I had not predicted that he would have gifted me in this way, I have become addicted to present the gospel, because I am no longer constricted by my past, but have been asked to take off the mask and broadcast his good news. He has not shifted or lifted his gaze from me, but has distributed his unlimited gift of grace towards me. So you might be thinking, why all the hype? You're only 27. So I start to question, and I get the impression that you're missing it. Because I'm thinking I'm almost 30, and I'm thirsty to tell of God's mercy. Despite all of us being unworthy, he still gave his son to save. So get some perspective. Change your altitude and your attitude, and have your mind renewed by his word. Because I'm not trying to be rude, but to conclude, please hear me clearly. We've been given his grace, and it's his gift. And he's gifted it to me and you, and said that I can do it, and so can you.